Thank you, everybody, for coming today. I'm so excited about the huge number of people on this call, and I'm so excited about the energy that we're seeing around the country in supporting the vice president, particularly from the Jewish community. So as Haley mentioned, I'm Julie Zebrak. I've actually been on, I'm what you call an OG. I've been on Team Kamala since supporting her during her days in the Senate. I co-founded Mamas for Kamala in 2019 when she was running for president as a way to get women and grandmas and moms active in helping elect a first woman president. But I'm also a delegate in Maryland. But today I want to talk to you about the vice president's record on Israel with Jewish Americans, on anti-Semitism, and why I feel comfortable as a Jewish woman and am actually not just comfortable, enthusiastic about voting for Kamala Harris in November. So I am aware, as are many of us, that there has been a lot going on since October 7th in the Jewish community in Israel, and we are all dealing with a lot of mixed emotions, a lot of fear. And some of that I want to address today in talking to you about the vice president's record. I have been following very closely both the president's words and actions since October 7th, as well as the vice president's words and actions. And I want to just emphasize for all of you and help you sort of build this muscle memory that Vice President Harris has always been and continues to be a strong and consistent supporter for Israel. Just this week, when she landed in Atlanta, Georgia, she talked about her strong support for Israel and its right to defend itself. But let me even go back further. When she was a U.S. Senator, her first act was introducing a resolution to condemn a UN Security Council resolution criticizing Israel. She voted to ensure Israel's security throughout her years in the Senate. She's repeatedly condemned Hamas's and Hezbollah's brutal attacks since October 7th, and she supported consistently, loudly, and clearly that she supports Israel's right to defend itself. She's been a full partner with the president in providing critical U.S. support. She participated in over 20 meetings with Benjamin Netanyahu, and she has worked with other members of Israel's leadership to make sure that everyone knows that she is behind Israel. Sorry for, anyway. I also want to talk to you about her support for the financial package. She worked to win passage of the latest supplemental aid, providing Israel with badly needed military supplies, and worked the phones to make with her colleagues in the Senate and in the House to make sure that passed. She's met with multiple hostage families, including last, I guess it was in June, so 2 months ago. She hosted an event at the White House focused on Hamas's use of sexual violence, and she included and met privately with a former Israeli hostage who survived sexual assault. She also, at the event, screened Sheryl Sandberg's film, Screams Before Silence. She is very, very focused on issues such as conflict-related sexual violence, and she has been a consistent advocate for Israeli women since October 7th on this particular issue. I also want to reiterate that she speaks out clearly and frequently about anti-Semitism in the United States. Just 2 weeks ago, she made a very clear statement that I'd like to read to you during Prime Minister Netanyahu's visit to Washington, when the flag burners were there and there was desecration in Washington. She said very clearly, "I condemn any individuals associating with the brutal terrorist organization Hamas, which has vowed to annihilate the state of Israel and kill Jews. Pro-Hamas graffiti and rhetoric is abhorrent, and we must not tolerate it in our nation. I condemn the burning of the American flag. That flag is a symbol of our highest ideals as a nation and represents the promise of America. It should never be desecrated in that way, and I support the right to peacefully protest, but let's be clear. Anti-Semitism, hate, and violence of any kind have no place in our nation. Through her actions, through her words, the vice president has been a partner to President Biden and a partner to Israel. She reiterated that with Prime Minister Netanyahu when they met last week. If there's anything that I can do to reassure you about the need to elect this president, both on behalf of the Jewish Americans and behalf of the women of this country who are extremely concerned about Project 2025 and the actions that the Trump and GOP administration would impose on women, please feel free to reach out. Like many of you, I have daughters, I have nieces, and whether we're voting for a vice president for her Jewish values and her commitment to Israel, or we're voting for our sisters and daughters and nieces, I just want to encourage all of you to lend your support and help us spread the word.